Are you a rule follower? Do you consider yourself someone who generally follows the rules?
Yes, I'm a rule follower, but I think I've only become a rule follower in the last 10 years of my life. So once I hit 33, I become a rule follower. And I think that's because I finally understand that, you should stop at a crosswalk and wait for the little white illuminated man before you try to cross a busy intersection. Or, if it says wash your hands before leaving the bathroom, you probably should wash your hands before leaving the bathroom.
I'll follow rules if I think that they're important. If I
Okay.
don't particularly think that they're important, or like that's not really for me in this situation, then I'm not going to.
I do think we have too many rules. I think we get hung up on creating too many stupid rules that make no sense. But I will follow the rules that make sense to me. Now, does that make sense to you? I don't know, but I follow the rules that make sense to me.
Well, I think that we have so many rules is because some people really are just that dumb. Like, some people are really just that dumb. Like, you know what? Don't have glass bottles next to a pool. Probably shouldn't do that, right? Like, some people really don't think about the consequences of their actions in any way. But I'm also a big believer in that old adage of 90% of the, like, 10% of the people cause 90% of the problems.
I will say, getting in trouble sucks. Like, getting in serious adult trouble. I don't know if I've ever felt lower than, like, not following a rule and getting caught. And I firmly believe that you always get caught.
Oh, I don't really have that much of a problem getting caught because I'm very good at kind of just being like, oops, sorry about that. And then just moving on. Like, oh, I didn't know. My bad.
I'm just referring to, do you think you're the kind of person that is, like, say you roll through a stop sign or you accidentally steal something without knowing? Do you feel like you're always the person that gets caught?
No, I generally do not. But how to say this without sounding like a douchebag? I'm
You
generally
will.
more aware of my surroundings than other people. I think it's really ultimately a consequence of what I used to do for a living, which is be a reporter, where you kind of have to know how things work. You kind of have to pay attention to a lot of the details. So I think it's a side effect of that. That I generally, if I'm breaking the rules, it's because I'm pretty confident that it's okay in that situation.
Like, there on a daily basis, what percentage of the rules, just general rules, do you think you follow on a daily basis?
All the big ones, none of the small ones.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll get into later what maybe some of the small ones are that
Okay,
you
so
don't.
like if I'm at the gym and I'm just starting out and I have literally not sweated in any way, and the only thing that has touched a bench is my clothing, I'm not going to wipe down that bench because I never actually touched it and or sweated on it or anything like that. Like if it's fine,
Okay.
then I'm okay with it. Like it's all right. But
I also want to make a declaration on this podcast that I took my kids were off of school. They started school, but you had that weird week if you're a parent. You know what I'm talking about, where they are not in day camp or summer school, and you have like a week
it's like
off.
a week off where you actually
Yeah.
have to be responsible for your children and can't pass them off to somebody else.
I hate you. Regardless, I took them to a planetarium, and I got to tell you, I am like intrigued by the stars. I've never realized how much I don't know about the sky above. It's kind of like thinking about the ocean below, how little you actually know. It's pretty intimidating.
Oh, I mean, I think that science is fascinating. We've had a number of like astronomers and people who deal with space in the scientific manner on this show, including a UFO expert, in case you don't want the super sciencey stuff. But I can't think about space. I have about 5 minutes of complete total wonder and awe, and then it transitions into terror. Like, no.
Yeah. I mean,
No,
they're
there isn't.
I mean, the fact that things are 30 million miles away, and that's just what we know. It's insane. We don't have to talk about it. I was just like, I felt like I was 8 years old. So if you ever want to go and just feel like you're literally a speck of dust, go to a planetarium and have someone talk to you about our universe. It's incredible.
This is the whole reason for the name of the show. It's profoundly pointless. Your life is the most profound thing that you will ever do, and it's totally pointless in the grand scheme of things.
Bam! It only took us 300 episodes, 380 episodes to finally get the title in something we're talking about.
To finally explain why the name of the show is profoundly pointless.
Yeah. It's not our great haircuts. Not that.
I didn't get a haircut. God.
Oh.
Haircut is going to be added to the list of things that you mention all the time.
I didn't talk about my basement either, by the way, but I can.
Also, John and I, before we started recording, he did something. He won't be able to do it now because it'll mess up the recording. But if you can look in his background, he has one of the album covers that he's selected is In Sync. That's an In Sync album cover behind you, and you blurred it out. So my question to you is, why are you the type of person who's going to proudly display things in your own home for the people who know you, but are ashamed to show that to other people?
You know what's funny is okay, this is gonna seem like a total cop out, but I had a fantasy draft on Saturday, and I had different albums. I did not realize that whoever messed with my albums put up Spice Girls and 2 NSYNC albums to go along with Ozzy. So the 3 of those were not up there before, by the way.
God, you are such a snob.
Why?
You're such a snob. I have my album covers. Did you measure the distance between where you hung the album covers in the background? Did you measure it or did you eyeball it? Like, I want to make sure. You measured it?
I mean, what's wrong with liking vinyl, like records? There's nothing wrong. I mean,
there's nothing wrong with it. Like it all you want. Why do you have to put it on display and show everybody? The question is that why can't you have a hobby without having to showcase it to the entire world?
You brought it up. I didn't even know that they were out there.
You measured the distance between the. Did you measure it side to side, or did you measure the distance between them vertically and horizontally, or just horizontally?
Yes. Let's give some shout outs here. Mohammed Morrison, Edna Anthony. I like the name Edna. I don't know why, but I like it. So thank you very much.
Old-timey name.
Mariano Brock, Allison Hoover, Carrie Hendricks, Thurman Farrell, Margaret Rogers, Louisiana Barr. Don't think that's her real name, but whatever. And then we're going to end on, I had to dig for this one this week, but this might be one of my favorite shout-out names, at least of the last year, and that is Wilbur Hunt.
Oh, you don't see a lot of Wilburs.
You do not see a lot of Wilburs.
But that is a person that if someone is named Wilbur, you look at them and go, oh, that's a Wilbur. That's Wilbur. Oh, yeah, that's a Wilbur.
Yeah, Wilbur's single, lives on a farm. He's never touched a woman, but it's Wilbur, so that is what it is.
Wilbur's swimming in it.
Sure,
Wilbur is swimming in it. When do you want to talk about your big day? When do you want to talk about your professional wrestling debut?
We can do that now if you'd like.
Oh, okay.
Did you happen to have a chance to watch the clip I sent you?
No, I didn't.
All right, that's.
I knew that was kind of.
I know. I mean, it's so. For those of you that have no idea what we're talking about, I got to.
We're going to show it over this video if we can.
A dream of being a professional wrestler. I won't bore you with the details. It was exciting. It was fun. It was chaotic. It was. I mean, that night I went to bed thinking 2 main thoughts from this experience. One, just because it's choreographed and fake, and I'm air quoting for all of you that aren't watching this, still catching someone. I had to catch like 180-pound.
I saw that. Yeah.
Like that's not fake. And like if I misstep, if my balance wasn't right, like I would have ruined the whole spot, right? Like so it's fake, but it isn't fake. And the second thing was, I am so happy that I did not choose that life. because I give mad props to, and we've had indie wrestlers on here before.
Yeah.
I give so much credit to those people, men and women, who are doing that and who have done that, because you're getting paid nothing. The safety isn't that great, and you're basically doing it for the high of the crowd, right? Like, you can almost say it's a narcissistic effect, but I have a couple more appearances that I'm scheduled for through the fall, but I would never do this. Like even if I was offered millions of dollars, I'm not sure I would do this for a living.
Millions of dollars.
I was minimally involved, but on when I did it last Saturday, and like just what, like one guy, and I won't say his name. He was in Canada the night before. He made like $100. Came there, he was going to make $100. He was going to Indiana on Labor Day to make like $250. Like, and he was like 45. Like, a lot of wrestlers never make it. And if you've ever seen the movie The Wrestler, that is so true to life. And I got to live it on Saturday.
I mean, that's like I always have a difficulty in that, in terms of like, are you following your passion or are you delusional?
I mean, I was actually going to ask you about this, so it kind of segues into this as much as I want to talk about my wrestling debut. College football this past weekend was the worst product of college football that I can remember ever watching. And I think most of that has to do with two things. One, my disinterest in the sport now, because nobody stays, right? There are no more 4-year players. And the second thing is Michigan played New Mexico, right? Easy game, it doesn't matter. New Mexico had 70 new players this year on their team. They can only carry like 75. That's absurd to me.
Oh, I just think it's being exposed for what it always really was. Like, it was never really about the team or the school. It's just for making money. Like, it's just light professional sports.
Yeah, and you're not wrong. It's never been about the athlete. But, I don't know, until a decade ago, maybe 5 years ago, at least people made you believe that. Kids that went there believed that. I mean, you have freshmen making, millions of dollars, and like, they don't even have to go to the pros if they were smart with their money.
No, not really. I mean, some of those people probably make more.
But I say that to go back. Like, it's a delusion. And yes, and I hate saying it because everyone I ran into at the show was amazing. Like, they were friendly. I literally had one guy go, "I know you've never done this before, but pop me for real. Like, let's make it look good. Like, literally hit me in the stomach and kick me in the back. Like, let's give you some real heat," which in the wrestling world is, make me look more like a bad guy. And I was like, "Dude, are you sure about that?" And he's like, "Yeah." Like, he's like, "I'll tell you if it's enough." I'm like, "Wow, like, you don't even know me, and you're willing to take things like that. Like, it's just incredible."
How hard did you, okay, what percentage power did you hit him?
I mean, so from having watched wrestling, I kind of know how to fake it, and I'm air quoting again. But 60-70%, like, so I kicked him, and then I started hitting him on the back with my like forearm, and that I did I did probably 80%. So,
man, yeah, and as a grown man hitting another grown man, even 50% is going to hurt.
Yeah, and like I said, it's incredible. The people were incredible. I had a great time, but you're absolutely right. It's a delusion versus a reality, and the reality is, everyone that I was in the ring with, like, they have day jobs. Like,
yeah.
Most of there's one guy who, like I said, that's a professional wrestler. But
so, are you now technically a professional wrestler? Are you gonna go around telling people you're a professional wrestler?
You're goddamn right, I am. Well, anyways, is it time? Are we gonna saddle up for one more ride, cowboy?
Look, I don't have the energy to give you a good intro because you depressed me.
I don't want to depress you. You want me to talk in an accent?
It's time!
Oh!
That's the best one I've done.
Yeah.
The Outlaw Candle Connoisseur rides again. Candle of the month.
That was good. That was with my
That was the best
effects.
horse I've done. That was the best horse I've done. Easily.
All right, so perfect. This is. I wish that I hadn't have gotten a little tipsy before my wrestling debut Saturday and threw this candle on accident. But this candle, go to Bath and Body Works. Amazing. It's amazing. Pumpkin pecan waffles. You want to bring in the fall with aromas that will make your loved one's pants fall off? Get them a little pumpkin pecan waffles candle at Bath and Body Works. It's going to be a little expensive. It's 3 wicks. You know how I feel about my wicks. I like 3 wicks. It's going to be about $27 plus shipping.
For one candle?
But I got to tell you.
Candle. Wow.
I got to tell you. So I've been kind of in this groove the last 6 months. I'm kind of changing over to non-traditional wax candles. This is a soy wax candle, and I love it. It just smells and burns differently than a traditional wax candle. And
my God. Does it? Tell me more, John.
I know you're excited. You know what? People out there care about this. I've seen the metrics. They go up during this part of the show.
All right. Okay.
Not that we ever get metrics, but if we did, I know they would. But anyways, check it out. Pumpkin pecan waffles. It is limited edition for the season. But Bath and Body Works, hook you up. I'm working on a sponsorship. I'm also working on trademarking Candle Connoisseur because no one's done it.
Target date 2028.
We'll see.
I have one big problem with your candle of the month. What is it called again?
Pumpkin pecan waffles.
It's pecan.
Are you sure?
Pumpkin pecan.
Why do you say pecan so funny? It's pecan.
It's pecan. That's how I say it. Pecan, not pecan.
It sounds like you're like, pecan. You sound like a bird. Pecan.
You sound like you don't know what the word is. It's pecan.
Oh, trust me. I've had plenty of pecans. All right?
Is that what you call it? What do you say, route or root?
Root.
So our top 5 is top 5 rules we don't follow. I'm not following that rule. What's your number 5?
That you're not supposed to pee in the pool or pee in a lake.
Oh, I would have that. I feel like that should have been much higher. I've got no problems peeing in a lake.
I mean,
you don't pee in a lake.
It's not a big deal, but you're not. It's more of the pool thing. I know you're not supposed to pee in the pool. Everybody does it, and then everyone swims through the warm spot, and everybody does this. You're swimming, you come across a warm spot. Who peed in the pool? Man, it's warm over here, and no one takes acknowledgement of it. No one's
gonna claim it.
Yeah.
How would you feel if you were warm spot, and then somebody just goes, "That's me," and you didn't know who it was? You're in a public pool, and somebody's just like, "That's me."
Well, the first person in my life, this is a shout out to everybody, that tells me that they peed in the pool, I will buy you a beer.
Okay. My number 5 is free sample related. I take more than one free sample. I've taken as many as 3 free samples, and I've got no problem taking more than one free sample. I don't say anything, I just do it. I'm taking 2. No excuse, no nothing. I'll take 2 in a heartbeat.
Favorite free sample lately that you've had and where from?
We had a salmon burger from Costco that was pretty good. I went back there a couple of times. And my 2 boys, who are 6 and 9, also do the same thing. But we take turns and we go up there and I'll get 2, maybe 3. My son will get 2, maybe 3. The other son will get 2, maybe 3. We got 9 free samples by the end of it. We got a whole damn burger.
They don't care, right? They're just dishing it out. They don't care.
We go into the Costco. If we go in as a family of 4, my wife, myself, 2 boys, we walk in. As soon as we're in there, we're gone. We go through all the free samples and we go to the food counter to get sundaes, and we don't associate with my wife in any way. We don't wait for her. We don't look for her. We don't do any of that. We are on our complete own mission.
Wow, I'm sure that she loves that.
She does, because she can do her shopping in peace. It works out very well for all of us.
Oh man, I can't stand stores anymore, especially Costco, because you walk in, you have the Verizon people or the AT&T people that want to bother
Oh,
you.
don't be. I'm not. Listen, I'll cancel this podcast in a second. You besmirch Costco in front of me again. Okay. What's your number 4?
I, I didn't know you were such a Costco fan. My bad.
I love Costco.
My
You wanna
okay.
go? I'll go right now.
Gonna put you on the spot. Best food at Costco. If you were gonna order one thing right now from the food court, what would it be?
From the food court?
Yeah,
Chocolate sundae.
I've never even had a chocolate sundae from there.
Well, you need to get up on life, son, because you're missing out. You spent your entire life just wasting it. You've just been wasting this last 30 years. You've gone to Costco how many times and not gotten a chocolate sundae? Looking like a daisy fresh rookie over there.
No, I get the Costco dog because that's what real men get. It's a Costco
Yeah, I get a
hot
Costco dog, and then I get a sundae.
You're gonna try to tell me about Costco. You're probably getting the weak ass piece of pizza too, aren't you? Get the whole pizza. Get the whole pizza.
I've gone in there and I've had to make a decision between ordering a pizza or just getting the requisite number of pizza slices, and I'll just do that. Like, you want to wait 20 minutes for the pizza? It's $9.99. Like, no, I'll just buy 8 pieces and that'll be $12.99. I'm not waiting.
That's a dick.
Time
move,
is
but
money, and that's time that I could be spending walking around looking for free samples.
It's actually kind of smart. All right, my number 4 is I see anything while driving. If I see anything yellow, like a yellow light come on the traffic lights, I press the gas. I don't slow down.
Oh,
I go
yeah.
forward. I'm not expressing caution. That's like I see the yellow light and I'm like, fuck it, I gotta go.
That's probably the only time in my societal life when I get visibly pissed off is when the person in front of me knows they could have made it through the damn light. I could have made it through the damn yellow light, and you hit the brakes. I get pissed. And I know that there's so many people that have been in front of me on the road and just seen somebody going like...
I mean, listen, like you said just 2 minutes ago, time is money.
Time is money. I can't stand a coward. My number 4 is showering before getting in the pool. I see that sign every time I go to a public pool, and never once have I showered. And never once will I shower.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever been to a pool where I've seen that sign.
I don't know if anybody's ever done it. Like, somebody actually showered before they got into the pool?
Yeah, that really doesn't make a lot of sense if you think about it. Some people, their shower is the pool.
Oh, yeah, I've been that person.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if you're in the Olympics, then you need to shower before you get in the pool. But otherwise...
But, like, why?
You got to wash
Why?
off. Because some idiot probably comes in there straight from a mudding festival. Like, can I get in? Like, no, idiot, shower off. Like, it's basically almost all of society's rules have to be geared around idiots.
But it's always the one. Like, would you rather be an idiot that follows the rules, or a rule follower that has to follow rules because of one idiot?
I don't even know the answer to that question because I'm confused as to which one I am. Like, I don't feel like there wasn't a comma or semicolon or period anywhere in that gave me context as to which one of those I was. I have no idea what you meant.
That's fair.
Number 3.
So I still, this is a little embarrassing. I still don't know how to follow the rules, air quotes again, and like properly use table silverware. Like, if I'm at a nice meal, I don't know which fork to use, which spoon to use, which knife to use. I just grab whatever I want. I don't follow the rules whatsoever when I'm out to eat with silverware.
Oh, do you put a bib on?
If I have to, sure. It's one of those societal things that I think is complete bullshit. It's the 1% that feel like they have to have a salad fork. They have to have a soup spoon. They have to have a steak knife. Though they're not having steak, they're having chicken. Like, just give me a fork and a knife and maybe a spoon and just get the F out of my way.
I'm not eating at any restaurants where I'm not using utensils, to be honest with you. I would
going
say
hands,
that
hands only?
I would say that almost all of the restaurants I eat at only require hands.
That's
Like
insane.
it's a burger,
That can't
it's a
be
burrito. I can't think of the last restaurant that I went out to eat at. We don't go out to eat very much, to be honest with you. But I can't think of the last restaurant that I went out to eat at where I needed to use silverware. I'm getting a sandwich and fries, man.
That's interesting. I mean, I gotta tell you, we actually have a pact for September where we're not going to eat out because we realized in the month of August how much wasted money we spent.
Oh yeah,
on eating. It's insane.
Without having a sense of smell, which I don't have a sense of smell for people who maybe aren't familiar, food is a total waste of money. I would never eat out at an expensive restaurant. It means nothing to me. My number 3 is paying for bags at the grocery store. If I'm in self-checkout and I'm doing it, I ain't paying for a bag. I'm not paying for bags when I'm doing the work.
That's another one of those things that is just like, come on, like grocery stores. Like, why the F do I have to pay 50 cents for an earth-safe bag when I'm trying to save the planet? Like, you're not making profit on these. Like, let me be.
Oh, I think maybe they're trying to get people to use. I mean, I get it. I'm just saying that I'm not paying for it. If I'm doing the work, I'm not paying your 8 cents. I don't care how many bags I've got. I'll double bag it. Walk out of there without paying it. Stealing that 16 cents.
Since the pandemic, I don't think I've had anyone bag my groceries. One of the positives of COVID, and I know that sounds stupid because of everything that happened, was all the major grocery store chains going to like majorly self-checkout counters. It was awesome.
What's your number 2?
I hate saying this. I didn't want to say this out loud. But if I'm an honest person, and if we're going to have an honest top 5, and I don't want anyone to judge me out there, but if I'm in a bathroom and there's no toilet, there's no Kleenex or whatnot, I will flush disposable wipes down the toilet. And you're not supposed to do that.
Oh, that can cause big problems for people plumbing. I feel like this is a faux pas that you have. I feel like you've gone too far. I feel like you've gone too far because that can cause big problems for plumbing, and then the bathroom shut down. That can affect a lot of people. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
I'm not proud of it. I have done it, and to be honest with you, I will do it again if I have to, but I don't want to.
Why don't you just throw away the trash?
Makes sense, I guess. I don't know. There's a whole thing that first of all, you're pooping in public, so I don't want people to know that. It's a whole thing. I just, it's like
everybody knows you're pooping. Like if you come out of the stall, they know that you were pooping.
It's like
it's not like a mystery. They probably want to know that you're pooping and not doing something else in there.
Like using those little seat cover things, right?
Yeah.
I'd probably go 7 or 8 deep.
Oh yeah, I do that too. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah, I use a ton. Yeah. No, that's just how you do it. I
hope people comment on this wherever we have comment available. I want to know how many of those you use. I'm curious.
I don't think that anybody would ever go 1 seat cover on a toilet. I'm going 3 to 4 at least, if not more.
And you got a little ass, so like, what does that say?
It's muscular, is what that says. My number 2 is the fasten your seatbelt sign on an airplane. If I've got to go, I'm not paying any attention to that thing. Unless the plane is actively bumping up and down, or the captain has said something about like, hey, we're about to hit some turbulence, that is just a suggestion that I'm not paying any attention to. If I got to go to the bathroom, I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one of those things that, I always felt it was a little dumb. Like, even if you put your seatbelt on, does it really matter?
What? You can wait a couple of minutes. We have a rule that you can't burp or like fart in the house unless it's a good one, and like that was a pretty good one.
Heard it.
What's your number 1?
So it's boring, but it's absolutely true, and I barely obey any kind of pedestrian walking signs.
I live in Seattle where there's lots of pedestrians. For people who live in like big cities, not sprawl cities like Detroit and a lot of Midwestern cities, if you live in a city where people are actively walking, like what John said is appalling to you. But if you live in places where people don't usually walk, like where I used to live in Wichita or like Detroit, then it's not usually that big of a deal. But
Like,
yeah, dude, you're going to hit somebody one day. Like
I'm
here,
saying,
people would lose their minds about that.
like some quick examples. I still a lot of times walk with the flow of traffic instead of against it. I don't care about jaywalking. I think that's one of the stupidest things to ever be invented or ticketed for. Like, don't tell me where I can cross the street. Like, it's dumb to me that that's even a thing. I feel like it's ill-timed, like the walking mechanisms on traffic lights. Like they have that stupid button that you can push if you're a pedestrian. Like that never works. Like,
God, you're going to get hit by a car. You know that this is how you're going to die. You're going to be hit by a car because of your behavior. Like,
nah, I'm too big of a person. Like, it better be a bus.
it's, dude, it doesn't matter how big a Geo Metro is going to kill you.
No way. No way I would get killed. Unless
You're
they're going
talking-
90.
Oh my God.
There's no way. No way Geo Metro is killing me unless they're going 100 miles an hour down the street.
Okay. Let's just go through process of elimination here and break this down. Are you aware of the concept of steal?
Go fuck yourself.
But so you are familiar with steel. Do you look at your body, which tore the calf off of the bone, ended up in the hospital after picking up dog poop, tore this calf off the bone while trying to run, which was really just one step, hurt his back, and needed to go to the hospital, I believe, after picking up dog poop? Do you think that that body is stronger than steel?
First off, I have to give you
Can you answer the question? Can you answer the question? Is your body stronger than steel?
I'll answer the question in 2 seconds. Your memory is fantastic. Well done. No, my body is not stronger than steel.
Okay, so now that we have that established, do you think that your body is then stronger than steel moving at a certain speed?
A Geo Metro? Absolutely.
Do you want to know my number one?
Yes.
I mean, I just can't imagine the kind of thought process that's going on in your head where you're looking at even a Geo Metro. Maybe you could look it up while I go on this rant. What is the weight of a Geo Metro? Even
Sure,
you.
I'll look it up.
Do you think that your body is stronger than, let's just call it 1,500 pounds of steel moving down the road? This is like people who are against sunscreen because they're like, no, man, I'm stronger than the sun. What's the weight of a Geo Metro?
1,600 to 2,000 pounds.
So do you think that your body is stronger than 1,600 to 2,000 pounds of steel moving at a decent speed? Moving at 20 miles an hour, you ain't living through that, man. You better hope you get hit in the air.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I wouldn't get hurt, maybe even critically, but I don't know if getting hit by Geo Metro at 30 miles an hour is going to kill me.
Yeah, it is.
The fatality risk at 30 miles an hour is around 5%, but this is misleading as the rate increases rapidly per mile per hour after that.
I would have actually thought that the fatality risk was much higher at a lower mile an hour. But it must be because of the way it like hits you and knocks you backwards or you go up on it. Like it's not a complete and total hit. But anyway, regardless of this, you are not stronger than steel moving at any mile per hour. Like if you get hit by a car, it's going to hurt.
You know what? Ask all those wrestlers on Saturday how strong I am. They'll tell you.
Not stronger than steel.
What's your number one, Superman?
My number one is cleaning my ears with a Q-tip. I know you're not supposed to do it, but I love it. I do it every day. I don't care how much they say. No, you're not supposed to do that at all. It's like a big no-no. You're not supposed to use a Q-tip to clean your ears.
Okay, I'm sorry. Then what the F are Q-tips even for?
Yeah, I have to open cheese right now.
Good. But then you can answer my question as to what are Q-tips even for then if they're not for your ears?
That is a huge mystery. I don't know what anyone would use a Q-tip for other than cleaning your ears. But apparently that's the one thing you're not supposed to do with them.
I mean, it legit makes no sense then. Then Q-tips shouldn't even be around.
Well, it's like one of those things that like that's what everybody uses it for, though. Sorry, man. Dad tax. Do you employ the dad tax?
Sometimes.
To everything you do?
Are you going to eat cheese? Maybe you're going to eat cheese. You should go eat cheese.
I am going to go eat cheese. All right, did you have anything interesting in your honorable mention? Hey, get those grubby hands out of here.
No. Oh, you're getting mobbed. There they are.
I can't even hear him.
They can beat me by sheer numbers alone.
Absolutely.
All right, I got to go do stuff.